Freeman chuckled. Not exactly. Smugglers are people who bring things in or out of the country illegally.
What happens if they get caught?
Violet asked. It depends, said Miss Freeman. Say the smugglers brought in something that was legal to own, like jewels, but they snuck it in without paying taxes. They'd probably get a fine.
Well, that seems silly, said Jessie. Why risk a fine when you could be honest and not get in trouble?
Miss Freeman smiled. That is a very good question. Sadly, not everyone is as sensible as you are. Most people are honest, though. They just want to get their boats to safety. Henry pointed at a large speedboat out in the bay. I wonder whose boat that is, he said. The boat was anchored, and it didn't look like there was anyone aboard.
I hope the owner hasn't forgotten about it, said Jessie. If they don't move it and the storm hits, who knows what could happen to it?
The empty boat bobbing on the dark water gave Benny a bad feeling. It reminded him of spooky stories he'd heard about ghost ships and pirates. He was happy when Miss Freeman changed the subject. I'd like to check in on my shop before the storm hits, Miss Freeman said. Would you all mind if we stopped by? The Aldens agreed, and they followed Miss Freeman into town. Along Main Street, they passed by empty gift shops and restaurants. Many were boarded up to protect against the upcoming storm. The Happy Bear ice cream shop was just off Main Street. Outside the shop, there was a tall statue of a bear standing up on its back legs. The bear was wearing blue overalls and holding an ice cream cone piled high with scoops.
You didn't tell us you had an ice cream shop, said Benny. I love your statue, said Violet. It goes perfectly with the name of your shop.
Why, thank you, said Miss Freeman. Bears became the symbol for our town a few years ago, and this fellow was made for my shop. I liked him so much I changed the shop's name to match.
So it's a town mascot?
Jessie asked. That's right, Miss Freeman said. The tourists like taking pictures with all the different bear statues around town. A man in front of the shop next door gave a snort. Maybe the storm will do everyone a favor and blow that one away. Why do you say that? Henry asked. The man stopped hammering and wiped his brow. He spoke with a strong Southern accent. I believe this should be a high-class town with high-class shops. People see that silly bear and silly name and think they can bring their drippity ice cream any place. He frowned at the children. Kids come into my shop and let it drip all over. Then they touch things with their sticky hands. The man turned back to his work. At least my shop will be protected from this coming storm, he said. Once the Aldens were in the ice cream shop, Violet whispered,
That man didn't seem very nice.
Miss Freeman sighed. That's George Williams. He's not really so bad. He just moved here from Georgia. He doesn't understand Port Elizabeth yet. If he had it his way, there'd be only fancy gift shops like his.
Why does he want you to change your shop's name? Asked Jessie.
Yeah, I like the Happy Bear,
said Benny.
It's happy.
Miss Freeman gave a small smile. My shop used to be called Sailor's Delight Sweets and Treats. It went along with the name of the shop next door, the stylish Sailor Boutique. But a couple years ago, I decided to just sell ice cream and change the name. He's always trying to get me to go back to selling fancy candies and knickknacks.
Well, I think ice cream is the perfect thing to sell,
said Benny.
Shoppers need energy. They can take a break with ice cream and have more energy to shop.
I bet you're right, Miss Freeman said. How about some energy for you kids? Give your orders to Savannah. The young woman behind the counter had not looked up from her cell phone since the Aldens entered the shop. Miss Freeman sighed. Savannah! The young woman jumped and looked up. She had long brown hair and wore a purple shirt. Take the Aldens' order, please, Miss Freeman said. I'm going to check on the generator. As the woman rang them up, Violet said,
I like your shirt. Purple is my favorite color. Your bracelets and earrings are nice, too. Are the red stones rubies and pearls?
The young woman blushed.
Oh, these? They aren't anything special, only stuff I put together.
She turned away to scoop ice cream. Violet wanted to ask about her name tag, which said Sarah instead of Savannah, but it didn't seem like the woman wanted to talk. The children and grandfather sat at a table and ate their ice cream. Soon Miss Freeman joined them. Henry asked, Are you worried about the storm, Miss Freeman? Should we put up boards like the man next door? I've seen enough storms hit Port Elizabeth, Miss Freeman said. We'll survive one more. I'm only concerned about one thing.